Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Mr. Controversy, and welcome back to Coffee Shop Chatter. So today I'm going to be kind of giving a review of Stephen A. Smith's apology that for some reason people felt he needed to give. I don't think he needed to give one. He was on Sean Hannity and was saying, hey, the things that ex, President Donald Trump is going through now with the judicial system is kind of what African Americans, black people, minorities go through. And you've had people that spoken to YouTubers on the street, have spoken to news channels and say, hey, we can identify what he's going through because we go through it. It has nothing to do with the amount of money he has. It has nothing to do with him being white. If you get out your feelings, and that's the problem with a lot of black people, you get in your feelings about every little thing. But as soon as you see someone other, if you see a white person that could dance, y'all quick to invite them to your barbecue because they can dance. You know nothing about them, but you ready to sit down and have a meal with them. Oh, they can dance. Yeah. Oh yeah, they killed it. They can come to the barbecue. But because Stephen A. Smith said, hey, black people, feel that they can identify of the things that he's going through, and Trump said it because he heard it from the mouths of black people. Other black people have said this. So he's saying the same thing. So I don't have an issue with it because I don't get my feelings about stuff. I actually listen to what someone has to say, process the information, what they're putting out, and then I draw my own opinions from that. But when you look at the trumped up charges of things they do, vote, chart, all the stuff with the voting stuff. As a sitting president, you can demand a recount. You could demand certain areas to recount. It's already been proven in Fulton County that there was some illegal things going on, and people have gone to jail behind them because of the 2020 election. As far as ballots, being thrown away, and I guarantee you they were Republican ballots. I'm just saying. But go ahead and let Stephen A. say his piece, and I'm going to interject, intermittently.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airwaves of YouTube. Let me move on to some of you annoying asses and just get this out the way. And obviously, I'm talking about Donald Trump. I was a guest on Fox News' Sean Hannity show last night to discuss the upcoming election, the trial, and Trump. Some people weren't happy about what I had to say. Take a listen. But I got to tell you something. As much as people may have been abhorred by Donald Trump's statement weeks ago, talking about how black folks, he's hearing that black folks find him relatable because what he's going through is similar to what black Americans have gone through, he wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. When you see the law enforcement, the court system, and everything else being exercised against him, it is something that black folks throughout this nation can relate to with some of our historic, iconic figures. We've seen that happen throughout society. So no matter what race, what ethnicity you may emanate from, we relate to you when you're suffering like that because we know we have. And that's what he articulated. Needless to say, people were in a tizzy over that. And why were they in the tizzy over that exactly? Because it's being portrayed and misconstrued that I'm saying that Trump's plight relates to black people. Well, it's easy to take things out of context, which is why I love having my own platform, so I can remedy and correct some of the foolhardiness that's put out there. First things first, Sean Hannity asked me the question about Trump gaining traction with the black vote and how whether it's a couple of points or 3 points or 4 points, that it could end up tilting the election in his favor that's upcoming this November. Yes, he's the presumptive GOP nominee. Yes, he's on trial for a hush money case to a porn star. Yes, he recently lost a civil suit for $454 million, where he had to pay about $175 million or something like that up front, okay? Yes, the man has had 4 indictments against him, 91 counts against him. Still running, though. Still a presumptive GOP nominee, though. And by the way, as I pointed out, has gained traction and is ahead of the incumbent President Joe Biden in at least 5 polls. Not all of the polls, but at least 5 polls have Trump ahead. Now, before I go a bit further, getting into us as black people, because we know how we can be now, okay? Not all, not some of us, but I'm just talking about some of us from our community. We know how the hell we can be. We're going to have that conversation in just a second. But before I get to that, I love how y'all pick apart me on Hannity. I was on Cuomo on News Nation an hour earlier. I ain't hear nothing about that. I was on MSNBC at least twice over the last month. I ain't hear nothing about that. I was on CNN. Abby Phillips, Laura Coates, several times. I ain't hear nothing about that. Okay? Oh, Stephen A., contributor to Fox. I'm no contributor to Fox News. I show up on all the networks. I was on Real Time with Bill Maher on HBO. I'm sorry, I ain't hear nothing about that. I've repeatedly said, I think Trump will cause civil war in this country. I can't vote for the brother.
Now, I actually grew up same area, Stephen A. Hollis, Queens. Went to the same high school. I went to Thomas Edison. What I can tell you, he has been on a lot of platforms, and he's maintained that same thought process. He was on, I forgot it's like PSB station. It's a panel of guys, and they told various topics. I can't remember exactly what the name of their channel is, but he was on there, and I watched it. And the same thing he said on Hannity is the same thing he said on there. Same thing he said on, like I said, other platforms. But the reason people got an issue is because it was on Fox News. Because Fox leans a little bit more on the red, where you have everyone else, CNN, MSNBC, and all them. They're blue. There's no straight down the middle. They're blue, and they will attack. If you're a Republican, they're going after you. The issue I do have with them is people are saying, oh, if he gets in the White House, he's going to cause a civil war. You know what? They use the same talking point, or what I would call a scare tactic, as in a deterrent, the first time he won. Did we have a civil war? No. Were there any wars going on? No. Was the economy as jacked up as it is now? No. Did we have an immigration problem with people just flooding through the border, through Eagles Pass in Arizona and Mexico, all these areas? No. But we do now. And for some reason, y'all people still riding the Democrat train. No, I don't identify as either. I don't even say I'm independent. I don't say I'm conservative. I'm just me. I'll listen to your points. I'll listen to what policies you plan, and then now I got to figure out if you're lying or not. And if you've been in the political arena like Biden has been for forever, and I've seen the things that you've done, you haven't changed. You've maintained that same course. And then when you say if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, I don't know. If Trump would have said that, black people would have lost their mind. Oh, he's saying I ain't black. Oh, he's a racist. I guarantee that's what they would have said. But Biden did it, and he just flew under the radar. No one said nothing. There was no pushback. And I look at it, that is a sign of disrespect. That's just my opinion. But this thing about whole civil war, most of you don't even know what the hell don't even know what civil war is. You don't. Because if you go back in history and look at the civil wars that they had, and it means people, back then they had militias, large militias. So they was able to do it. They had artillery pieces. They were like the little, which I would call like the little 105s, but they were actual iron cannons. They had that type stuff. It was more rogue, and they were allowed to do way more than what we're allowed to do now. And it was just because of the laws then versus what we have now. and the laws now have tightened a lot of that down. But always, oh, if he gets in there, he's gonna call. Man, they need to stop it. Him saying he just going about his people that voted. Stop it. He didn't do it the first time. Why should he gonna do it the second time? He already said what he's gonna do.
Y'all just gonna ignore that. Why am I bringing all of this stuff up? Because the second black folks find somebody from our community that doesn't march 100% lockstep with one another, they a sellout. They this, they that. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. This is getting ridiculous. Okay? Trump is winning. Y'all just gonna stand still? I'm wrong when I sit up there and I say, yo, Democrats, all you got is the soon to be 82-year-old incumbent. You didn't have anything in the bullpen. I'm wrong for bringing that up. I'm wrong for bringing up why the hell you had Gavin Newsom on Fox News looking like he's running for president instead of Joe Biden being the president or Kamala Harris being the vice president. I'm wrong for bringing that up. I'm wrong for bringing up when I went off about Kamala Harris, our vice president, our HBCU grad from Howard University, a black woman, highly intelligent, former attorney general in the city of San Francisco, former attorney general in the state of California. I was wrong for bringing up how she was wrong to avoid getting into it with then presidential candidate Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, when he wanted to debate her on the good parts of slavery. I was wrong. I was wrong about that. I was wrong to say that's a fight she should have embraced. When y'all gonna wake up? I'm wrong when I'm pointing.
Well, Stephen, I got some bad news for you. Oh, Kamala Harris don't identify as black. She said words come out her mouth. She does, even though her dad is from Africa, she doesn't identify as black, boy. But boy, you need to listen. You should have listened to her talk when she was on the trail before they got into the White House. She said it out her home mouth. She does not identify as black. So that's why a lot of people is like, she's not black. Even though she is, basically because her daddy is. I mean, he's straight from the motherland. But that's not what she identifies as. So stop throwing it. Stop saying, yeah, she's smart. Did you look up her history where she was locking up innocent black men, had the highest conviction rate, locking up black men in California using falsified what they was using. It was like falsified evidence, and she was informed there was issues with the evidence that it was planned. There was pretty much these people should not have been prosecuted. It took the next DA to come in to free all those men that she locked up. So come on, stop. Before we start calling people smart and oh, they went to an HBCU, I don't give a damn about no HBCU. I graduated from an HBCU. That don't mean nothing. Where you get your degree from don't mean nothing. Whether it's a HBCU, if it's a POI, well, PWI, predominantly white institution. None of that matters. But you need to start looking at the history of some of these people before you start giving them kudos.
Pointing out how black folks for the first time are talking about the borders being flooded, how illegal immigration ultimately negatively affects us. I'm wrong. I'm wrong in pointing out how xenophobia, homophobia, transphobia has all of a sudden become bigger issues than racism in this country. I mean, damn. How much proof do you need? When I brought up the economy, they say the economy is good. They say the economy is flourishing. You trying to tell me you black and you disagree with me when I say to us, we don't want to hear about the numbers. Oh, the labor participation rate is good. Oh, unemployment is good. Oh, the economy is okay. If gas prices are damn near double what it used to be, if the price of bread, milk, cheese, and eggs and everything in between is double what it used to be, but we ain't getting raises at work. You trying to tell me I was wrong for bringing that up? You trying to tell me I'm wrong when you're sitting up there and you talking about and subjects like immigrants in New York City getting $53 million prepaid credit cards to subsidize their existence in this country, and I'm pointing out how that was never done for black people? I'm wrong? I'm wrong? That's where we really want to go? That's what game we playing? I ain't talking politics. I'm talking life. I don't give a damn that I'm inundated with sports all day, every day. I'm a human being. I'm a black man. I'm a citizen of the United States of America. You don't see this shit happening? I'm supposed to just sit idly by and say nothing? The hell with me talking. Why ain't you talking? Why ain't you screaming to the high heavens?
And he's right. And I'll put it this way: black people have gotten their how they say black you got your end card, you got your little wake up card from the Democrats. All these jokers coming in through the border. Tyson so-called shutting down, laying off all these people. If you go to the Tyson's little factory that's in Arkansas, go inside there and see who's the majority of the people that work in there. It's Hispanics. Because I went up there. My daughter used to live up there. She went to college up there. I went there because someone was saying, about the jobs and they couldn't get none. And I was like, man, it's a Tyson's factory right there. Why are you food processing? But no, they do a little chicken or whatever they do up in there. What you going to? They was like, man, they ain't hiring none of us. So I went over there. And it looked like Mexico. There was a bunch of Mexicans working in there. Very few of anybody else, but them in the mass majority, because you can hear a lot of Spanish going on too when you walk up there. No one said anything to me. I just pretended like I was coming to trying to apply for a job, and it's like, oh no, we're not hiring. I'm like, all right, appreciate it. And I got my car drove. I'm like, wow, they wasn't lying. But if you look at what's going on in New York, you look what's going on, Colorado, all those places where they're being flooded, because we ain't keeping them in Texas. That's one thing I know about Greg Abbott. Boot them out, send them somewhere else. Let somebody else have the headache. Because if you go back, look at Trump's executive orders, he actually had an executive order that addressed the border, that addressed illegal immigrants coming in and everything. Day one, when Biden got in there, and you think I'm BSing, just Google Trump's executive orders. I already did a piece on it a while back. I already put the link to where people could go and see what executive orders Trump put in place that Biden suspended as soon as he got in there. He suspended executive orders that was written to help out small businesses. He suspended it because it was put in place to keep small businesses afloat. Biden killed it. He killed off the immigration, as far as addressing the border, the immigrants, he killed that off. So now you have an influx of these people. Now you have a bunch of people from China coming in, and we just sent Taiwan how many billions of dollars? Over 10 billion? 20, something like around $20 billion. We just sent Ukraine some more money. We send the money over to Israel, billions of dollars. But we can send people all this money, but we can't use that money internally to fix our infrastructure, to create jobs, to reduce our homelessness, to get our veterans off the street, which kind of pissed me off because I am a veteran. I did well over 20 years, almost 30 years in the army. And then I watched my fellow brothers and sisters had to sleep on the street after they sacrificed, years of their life protecting, so-called protecting this country. And now we're now pushing for Ukraine, all these countries to become part of NATO, and they're the countries that are being attacked or may become attacked, like Taiwan. China wants Taiwan back, but we try to get them into NATO for what? Oh, because if you attack them, that's like you attack the U.S. and the U.K. because they're in NATO, they're part of NATO. So which means now we have to help defend them. So now that means we can actually send troops, and because those countries know, like Russia know that they belong to NATO, they know what's going to happen. So it's just setting up. They're setting up to try to have a war with somebody because that is what the U.S. economy thrives off of. I'm just being honest. A lot of you don't know that. You better start researching and looking that stuff up. If you got the money, invest in these little what I call war stocks. Your petrol, your General Dynamics, Raytheon. Start looking at their stock. Palantir.
Why aren't you telling liberals on the left, yo, you need to stop with the extreme leftist stuff on the fringes with all of that woke stuff? What sex you are, whether you a male or a female, whether you can be a male but call yourself a female and get to compete against women or girls in various sports. You want those issues to be more prevalent than the stuff going on in our community that directly affects our lives as opposed to less than 1% of the damn population? What you doing? How come you ain't doing it? How come you ain't raising holy hell? How come you not speaking up? And by the way, to get specific, when I brought up Trump and whatever relation he has with black folks, the question that was asked to me was the supporters of Trump. Why are they doing so? I said black folks want to be safe in the streets of America. They don't want to see somebody committing crimes, assault or whatever, and getting arrested and being out of jail in the same day. I said black folks want to make money and they want to keep money in their pocket. They want to be safe. That's what I said. And I also said this. I said, yo, our criminal justice system, our courts, law enforcement, that anytime we see anybody that we deem to be an individual being persecuted, where the law is being exercised against them, the heavy hand of the law, do we find that relatable to some degree? Yes. I'm lying about that? Really? Really? I'm lying about that, huh? Didn't happen to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? Didn't happen to Malcolm X? Didn't happen to Al Sharpton, damn it. Didn't happen to a plethora of black folks throughout our history. When all else failed, the heavy hand of law enforcement, of the courts, of laws ultimately rained down upon them. When we talk about recidivism, when we talk about our incarceration rate, don't we sit up there and talk about how we need to get the laws changed because folks are being criminalized for the most innocuous of things? Remember we had those conversations? Didn't we talk about the crime bill in the 90s? When people were being thrown in jail at an exorbitant amount out of our community because of non-violent offenses? Didn't we hear the now president apologize for his role in leading that charge when he was the head of the Senate? Didn't we hear Clinton apologize when his wife was running for the presidency? I'm making this up, though. I'm making this up. You don't see the parallel? You don't see the connection? Why you think Trump went out there and he said, hey, what were his words? I've been told, look, those were his words. I've been told, I've heard that some black folks find themselves somewhat relatable to me because of what I'm going through right now. And where would we get that from? You know good and damn well. Georgia case is another matter. On the phone, I need 11,000 votes, 11,700 votes. That's an egregious situation for the president to find himself in. We ain't talking about that. But we ain't talking about the civil case where he lost a 454 million, had a 454 million judgment against him either. You real estate and you manufacture, you're a real estate mogul and you manufacturing numbers. Okay, wow. We know that's going to happen. And you do the crime, you get caught, you got to pay the penance or you got to do the time. But you're the former president of the United States. And your ass is in court where you have to show up each day. Otherwise, you're going to be thrown in jail. And the crime is that you took $130,000 of money and through your lawyer or some other intermediary, you gave it to a porn star for hush money purposes. So he got loose with a porn star. And he didn't want the world to know while he was running for president that he did that. And so he tried to wiggle his way through that. You trying to tell me that America is sitting up there? I'm talking about independents and folks on the right. Of course, people who hate him on the left are going to take that position. But I'm talking about independents and folks on the right. You trying to tell me they think this is a serious matter that requires our time and attention? John Edwards, did he do time? Gary Hart, did he do time? Bill Clinton, they said he got loose in the Oval Office. I heard libertarians losing their damn mind. It was in the Oval Office. Oh my God. Oh my God. Remember that? But he in court instead of being on the campaign trail. You don't think people see through that? They do. All I did was point it out.
And I personally think, because if people have an issue about what they call hush money, it was an NDA that he didn't even sign. He didn't sign it. Stormy Daniels, she's the only one that signed it. It has to have both participants' signature. He never signed it. But if we want to prosecute people because they paid somebody off to keep quiet about them sleeping with them, that means every darn person who's did a settlement out of court and had someone sign the NDA, they should have charges brought against them this very day. Cancel out all NDAs. Just say, hey, from now on, NDAs are no longer any good. You pay somebody off, you do it at the risk of, it's at your own risk, your own peril. But no one has an issue with all these other people, and there's a lot. There are a lot of people that have made people sign NDAs and paid them off. But because he did it, and now it's a problem. So I say it's selective outreach, and that's how this country is. You have a mass majority of people who can't think for themselves, who follow along behind everybody else. Like I said, when Trump ran the first time, he's like, oh, if he's in there, he's going to cause this, and this is going to happen, this is going to happen. He got in there, and everything they said didn't happen. Come around for round two, because they know they can't beat them. So how you beat them? We bring up all these charges, we keep him off the campaign trail, so he can't get out there, which people are seeing through all this, and it's actually helping them out. It's actually making things better for them. That's why it's polling us, because everybody's looking like, okay, this is BS. Are y'all just afraid of this man that y'all can't beat him straight up? That y'all want to keep him in a courtroom so he can't get out there and campaign? Which means if he can't go out there and campaign, means he can't go out and do a debate against a sitting president now that probably can't even tie his own shoes. So I'm going to go and let Stephen A. finish this out.
I am not a fan of Trump being the president. I think he will cause civil war in this country because I don't think he's going to cater to all of the American people. I think he's just going to cater to people who voted for him and who are loyal to him, and the rest of us be damned. That's how I view him. But that doesn't mean I get to close my eyes and be completely oblivious and ignorant to the stuff the Democrats are doing to lose the damn election. I said it before and I say it again. Beat him. Beat him. Get a bullpen. Have some other candidates. Find folks with pizzazz that can talk to the American people and resonate. Don't act. I'm not saying you're doing this. I'm saying from an impression, from a perspective matter. Don't act like what you're doing is you want the president to get through the election, and then after that, damn it, God rest his soul, he could end up passing away or something, and Kamala Harris can become president that way. No! You want to be president, run for it. Beat them. Show that you can compete. That's what we got to do in anything we do in life. That's all I'm saying.
And that's I'm gonna end it there. But like you're saying, that was the plan. They was kind of hoping that. I'll be honest. I think they was hoping that Joe Biden would have passed away. Why during this presidency, so they could have slipped Kamala Harris in, let her probably get a year and some change. He disappointed them because it didn't happen. He's hanging on by a thread mental wise. I don't know how his health is, but mentally, he ain't there. And people trying to act like they don't see this going on before their very eyes you're naive. I can't even call you ignorant, because ignorance is not knowing, but then willing to learn and research and then find the truth. You're stupid. Which means there's no change of mind. You stuck in your belief. This man, mentally, he is a shell of himself. And every time he speaks, it shows. So now imagine him. I'm just waiting for them to the debate. I will stop doing whatever I'm doing, and I'll probably have to go live for that one, because I want to see President Biden go against former President Trump in a debate. And I guarantee he's going to wipe the floor with him. Because the first thing he's going to hit him with is with the immigration thing. Everybody trying to blame it on the Republicans as like, oh, well, they won't sign this bill, they won't do this and that. All Biden had to do was reinstate Trump's executive order that addressed the border, and we wouldn't be having that problem we're having now. But he won't reinstate it, and they're trying to blame it on the Republicans, saying, oh, well, they won't sign this bill. They really want to, end this problem with the border. They sign this bill, but what it is they're trying to add this extra stuff in to get us to sign it, but we don't want those things in there, so we're not going to sign the bill. But yet they just slid the bill through quick as hell with the banning of TikTok. So see what I'm saying? So it depends on what you want. Is it there? You'll sign it, but if it's not, you won't. They won't. But the workaround is an executive order, but it shouldn't have to come down to that. What we should be able to do is, one, stop thinking the president is the end all be all. Start voting stop all those old crusty people that's been in there since they're probably 30s and 40s, and now they're like 70 and 80 years old. Stop letting them go through the revolving door, vote their butts out, put some new blood in there. And that's the problem too. I mean, you so pigeonholed, tied into with these people that you don't want to let them go. And which I was called like you voting against your own self-interest. They're up there becoming millionaires and all this other crap, and you sitting out here broke, unable to pay your bills. Especially when you talk about the African American community, women, black women, who leads the world and leads the entire United States in evictions. Black women. also leads in college debt. But y'all don't want to know, actual real information. Y'all want to listen to the BS that a lot of these news channels is telling you because you don't want to research nothing on your own. You're too lazy. You don't want to read. So you take what you hear somebody say and then you run with it and then you regurgitate it to everybody else. But then when you have people who actually do read and actually do research, and it's like, no, that's BS. This is what it is. Oh no, such and such said this. Yeah, they fucking wrong. They're wrong. That's why they try to blame this whole thing about the immigrants on Trump. No, Trump had, like I say, he had the executive order that addressed it. That addressed that. He's the only one who actually didn't have the HBCUs on the revolving door for funding. Trump, when Biden got in there, he cut that shit down by like 75% of what they was getting. But you didn't look that up. You just believe everything you hear. Now you got the darn HBCUs going back every year. Got their little hands out looking for money. Trump said himself, it makes no sense for that to happen. They shouldn't have to come back after so many years begging for money. He fixed it. What happened when Biden got in there? No, we're going to slash this. We ain't giving those niggas this amount of money. You crazy? Why are we going to give them all that money? No, they come back like they've been doing. So that's all I got. If you guys, I just want to hear what people have to say about it. Like I said, I personally don't think Stephen A. had to apologize because a lot of things he was saying, I agree with myself. They know they can't beat that man out on the trail, so what you doing, you keep him tied up in court. But that's all I got to say. If you have an issue with it,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
Jerry,
that's all I got.